The origin of Byronic Hero is obviously Lord Byron's epic poem Childe Harold's Pilgrimage. Now, the protagonist of this work is the first character who actually exhibited the qualities or the traits of a Byronic hero. So, from here, the concept of Byronic hero was initiated. Now, the Childe Harold's Pilgrimage, it's an epic work and it's a fictionalized version of Byron's own life. It's semi autobiographical in nature, so he has integrated many of his own qualities in the work. Now, what are the characteristics of a Byronic hero? How can you understand it's a Byronic hero and not a traditional hero? First, you have to understand that Byronic hero challenges or is it stands in contrast to the a stereotype traditional hero. Therefore, a Byronic hero is passionate, not very simple, handsome man. He is passionate, he is dangerous, but he is intellectual, but he is loyal and generous. At least one or two act of his is so larger than life that it almost covers up all his flaws. And you know how is Byronic hero so loyal? Because he is emotional, Although we know he is a little cunning, but he is completely emotion, and therefore some of his deeds defy the social norms, and eventually he seems to be the Byronic hero seems to be an exile or an outcast. He is a little manipulative as well. Therefore we see all these traits stand directly in contrast with the simple, plain, good-hearted, amiable traditional hero. Let's take the example of Hamlet. Now, we have to understand that Lord Byron himself was deeply impacted by Shakespeare's Hamlet at a very young age. So, of course, Hamlet is courageous, he is passionate, he is introspective, and therefore he is confused. Hamlet is obviously generous to anyone who lie below him in rank and position. Now, in the entire drama, Hamlet is in a turmoil of emotions, conflicting emotions, and he feels the betrayal very deeply. Okay, you have to understand that if not Hamlet, anybody else could have just forgotten this, little tragedy. But Hamlet, being a Byronic hero, he feels too much crushed by these confusions, by these turmoils, and he considers suicide as the only way out. A modern example of Byronic hero is J. Gatsby in the novel The Great Gatsby by Fitzgerald. He is, Jay is the one of the most handsome man of the town. He is a romantic hero, a passionate lover, deeply impacted by the female characters around him, but he has an isolated, a dark past, and therefore we see tint of cynicism in him. He has a self-destructive disposition, just like Hamlet and just like any other Byronic hero. And therefore, all these traits make him a mysterious Byronic hero. Okay, these Byronic heroes are interesting, but what is the purpose? What is the importance of, or what is the reason these Byronic heroes became so prominent in TV, in films, in cinema, and of course in literature? First, this defiant nature of a Byronic hero adds complexity, ambiguity to the narrative. Okay, and the entire narrative is overpowered by a brooding sense of confusion which attracts the audience. All right, let's take the example of Heathcliff. See his just notice his character. It is only because of his character that the entire novel becomes more interesting. Okay. Secondly, you see that the Byronic hero, he offers more relatable flaws to the audience, to the reader, as we see that they stand against the social norms, they rebel against what they feel is absolutely wrong. Okay, and therefore one is able to relate with them. And once the reader or the audience is able to relate with the narrative, of course, they will remain with the narrative till the end. Let's see how Macaulay has defined a Byronic hero. He says he is quote unquote, proud, moody, defiant in nature, and implacable in revenge. The idea of Byronic hero after Lord Byron became so interesting, so attractive to the writers that it gave birth to the concept of anti hero as well, which became very significant in modern and postmodern literature.